Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gamersledge. I'm one of your hosts, Mark, and joining me this evening for a fireside chat, we haven't had one of these in a good while, is Matt. Hi, Matt.
Hello.
You're on the moon and they're leaving without you?
It seems that way, yes.
That does not seem ideal.
I'm also without a spacesuit, so it must be the blue zone.
Well, you know, sure, that exists. We have lots to go over, but it should go pretty quick, since there's just the two of us. So let's start out, as we always do, by going around and saying what we've been doing for the last 2 weeks. And we're starting with you, Matt.
Ooh, wow. I wonder how we picked that. So it's a pretty short list. It's been life busy, so that means entertainment short. I'm holding an ancient Nook in my hands because that's what I have as an e-reader right now. But I need that because I can't remember the names of these books to save my life. So I finished up 2 more of the Expanse novellas in preparation for the drop of the final book next month. So I finished off The Vital Abyss and Strange Dogs, which are 2 of the novellas. I just started Oberon. I'm like 2 pages in, and then I have The Churn left. It doesn't really seem to matter what order you read these in. They all tie in to show you something that's referenced in the novels, but it expands on it. So like a good novella would, it doesn't need a lot of setup. It relies heavily on what you learned from the main novels. But it throws you into somewhere where you learn something interesting about a character or a concept that you kind of got glossed over a bit in the novels. So they're a good read. I don't know if there'll be another one that drops after the last book or not. I haven't seen another one, but I did see that the pair that go as James S.A. Corey are writing a new science fiction trilogy unrelated to the Expanse universe. Of course, that was announced before COVID, so who knows where that's at this point.
And so they say it's not tied into the Expanse.
Right. Well, you never know. The Watcher might show up, and then you never know what's going to happen. But so speaking of that, I guess we'll go to what I've been watching next. Finished up What If, which finished this week. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was really well done. There's like one episode that I kind of didn't jive with, but it still wasn't bad. It just didn't really jive for me.
Which episode? Vegas.
Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I mean,
it was interesting. It just, I could have done without it, but I for that actor, I'm sure that was fun.
Well, right? I mean, that in the last couple of movies too.
Well, yeah, but I think that was a fun variation on that character for him to play, but overall, I thought that was comic book 101 there, that final episode.
Super was.
Yeah, the people who are dissing on it, I'm just like, okay, you don't like comic books, I guess.
What? People are dissing on it? Really?
Yeah, there are some. Like IGN gave it a 5.
Are you kidding me?
No.
What? Why?
I didn't even bother to read it because I'm just like, you've invalidated your viewpoint with that number. So,
yeah, apparently they do not read comic books or enjoy comic books. I mean, Daniel gives me hell all the time because I still to this day have refused to watch Venom. And he's like, oh, so you don't enjoy comic books? I'm like, no, I enjoy good comic books and good comic book movies. And I know that Venom is not a good comic book movie. And I'm very leery about the second one even. Did you end up watching it?
I have not. I did end up watching the first one. Like I got it like in a service, like I didn't have to pay for it. It was just on something, right? So I watched it that way. So I wasn't paying additional for it, but I did give it a hit, I guess. Yeah, not good. I mean,
see, if anybody's going to be mad about it, it'd be you, right? Because you're way more of a Spider-Man fan than I am.
Yeah, I mean, I knew the separation and all that stuff going into it. So I was prepped for an amount of just natural disappointment that I just kind of put off to the side.
We're talking about Venom, by the way, Drogodan.
Oh yeah,
and Miguel.
Venom. And so I put that off to the side. But then, even just as a movie, it wasn't good. I mean, or it wasn't to my taste. Let's put it that way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are people who enjoy it, and I don't begrudge anyone who enjoys a movie, right? Entertainment, like art, is subjective, right? I mean, there are terrible things that are enjoyable, if I saw somebody go on this thing about The Fifth Element, if you objectively look at the individual elements of The Fifth Element, not a great movie, but you put them all together and it makes one hell of a great fun movie, right? It's all of the elements working together that individually the story's kind of bare bones. The hero plot is pretty basic, but I mean, you put it all together and you've got an enjoyable, great movie. Yeah. Venom didn't do any of that.
Yeah.
The second one,
Drogodan was confused. We were talking about What If episode 9, the one that came out this week. IGN gave it a 5, which I cannot fathom or understand, because 7 is like okay and average for them. So a 5 is below average. And it was a phenomenal end series end. Yeah. Or
how
season
spoiler
end.
Do we want to get
No,
to
we
it?
don't. We don't want to get
we
super
don't want to get spoilery
yeah.
at all. But I mean, you might say that there were some exiles that were very much invoked. Sort of. Anyway, never mind. But anyway, I mean, it was very evocative of something. But yeah, Venom 2 I did not see, but my daughter got drugged to it by her roommate and her boyfriend. She was not impressed at all. So I'm not thinking that this one got any better than the last one. I was hopeful with Andy Serkis getting on there, but then I saw the trailer and I'm like, nope, they stuck right to the script of the original. So
yeah, and that does not seem like anything I want to. And so Daniel likes really laying into me because he's like, well, you don't like, you won't watch Justice League. I'm like, yeah, I watched the 2 movies leading up to Justice League and they were terrible. I don't want to sit through 4 hours of.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't begrudge anyone that does. I mean, that's totally cool. And like you said, it's subjective. I just find that, for most of my friends, they didn't appreciate it. I'm probably not going to either. I may get around to watching it eventually, but
someday it'll be, you're retired and you're actually out of things to do. And, it'll be like on, some streaming service. You're like, okay, 72 years later, fine. I'll give this thing a shot.
I know you're saying words, but I don't understand any of them. Out of things to do.
I know. I don't. Yeah, it's never going to happen. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I would say highly recommend watch What If. It is phenomenal. Well worth your time. I definitely do it.
It's a solid homage to the comic runs of What If, which they still do, by the way. There's a Spider-Man line right now that's got up in the corner, What If. So the What If imprint is not dead.
Well, and I think what's interesting about this version of What If is that it does really solely stick to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Mm-hmm. There might be one exception in there, actually, but for the most part, it does. And they managed to make what I feel is a really great story out of the limited number of possibilities they had there. And I think they have enough to do like 5 more seasons just from what's in the MCU without introducing anything out of the ordinary that we haven't seen yet.
Right. I mean, and, Into the Spider-Verse touched on it from that angle. And I mean, you could get those two to cross hit, I mean, I know it's Sony versus Marvel Studios, but.
Well, and by the time you get season 2 underway and in production, you've got Shang-Chi and Ms. Marvel and a bunch of other new characters, the Eternals, that can all kind of add to that
into it.
Permutations. So
She-Hulk.
Yep.
Will she be by then? Probably by then.
I don't know, but Hawkeye's solo thing will have done. Yeah. So I'm super. I would like 99 more seasons of this, please.
Yes.
That's.
And all I can say about the upcoming TV shows and movie lines is it really feels like they're heading for a Young Avengers.
It does, in way, yeah, I agree.
But we'll see if that happens or not. Okay, picked up Bad Batch. That's the Star Wars Clone Wars sequel. Watched, I don't know, 4 or 5 episodes of that. So working through that slowly. I didn't watch it as it dropped because I was trying to find a way to watch it with the kids, and yeah, that just didn't work. So I'm finally just watching it. And then I started, and my Japanese exchange student has been trying to work on my pronunciation of this, so I'm trying better. Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, no, you
Yeah.
said it right.
Well, I keep on doing that whole English thing of trying to put emphasis on syllables, and she has to remind me that that's not a thing.
Yes.
But yeah, so started that. Watched 2 episodes in Japanese and 1 in English, just because I can watch it in English without ads, and decided I'll suffer through the ads to watch the Japanese. I don't know if anyone's watched Crunchyroll with ads, but they're brutal. Got that going on. And then on the playing front, I've been playing. And now, to your point, the game doesn't know how to pronounce her name because it's pronounced no less than 3 or 4 different ways. And they don't say it that many times. So I don't know if it's Kina, Kana, or Kenna. It's one of those 3 because they've said it all 3 ways. I think it's K, kind of like that vague EA sound, I think is when she said it. One time she said it, she kind of used that like Caesar kind of EA sound. So Kana, even though it's only 1 vowel, Kana. Something like that. Anyway, Bridge of Spirits. It is an excellent game. I have hit a wall though. I hit the first big boss. I mean, we've been through several bosses, but I've hit like the first big boss. Holy Dark Souls, hi.
Well, you better figure it out for the review, my friend.
I know, it's kicking my butt. I thought, oh, you know what? I haven't been back to the village and unlocked the stuff there in a while. So I went back to the village. Yeah, nope, nothing there. So I really don't know what I'm going to do. I'm missing something. I have to be missing something. I just haven't figured out what it was. I've only gone through it the one time. I mean, I've played against the boss multiple times, but only in one sitting. So if I go back, I might see it and go, oh yeah, you idiot. But it's a weird mixture of accessible and hard. It controls like Dark Souls or any of those games because you use the shoulder buttons for attacks. So Dark Souls, God of War, it uses those inspirations, but yet it's clearly a modernization of a PS2 character platformer, right? A mascot platformer. So, your Jacks and your Ty the Tasmanian Tigers and those type of things from the PS2 era.
Don't leave out the best one, Gex.
Gex entered the Gecko. Yeah. Yes.
Spyro.
Spyro, yeah. So that PS1, PS2 era of character platformers, right? So it's clearly that, but yet it tries to pull in a little bit of Horizon, and it tries to pull in a little bit of Souls, God of War, and it does have these weird difficulty spikes, which I didn't notice early on, but then watching my daughter play the opening parts of it, like especially since she's never played a shoulder button attack game before, that difficulty spike goes so it is gonna kind of be by experience, but it's really pretty. It's story minimalistic, right? Really minimal story, but when you do have the voice acting, it's really well done. The layout of the world is pretty on point. There's a couple of times I've gotten a little bit lost, and there's just the collectibles by the Gajoodles, which I haven't gotten all of any of them yet, right? So, but I don't even have my last power. I've got one more power area in my upgrades thing that's still grayed out. So I've still got one more ability to get before I'm even got all my abilities, and then have to unlock all the sub abilities under that. The experience points you use to get those upgrades are very limited, like very limited. So you have to really kind of pick and choose what you're going to take, what matches to your play style. Of course, I'm a ranged player, and guess what your weakest attacks are? Ranged. So I've punched all these points into something that's probably not helping me the way it needs to. But that said, I'm making my way through that. I do love the game though. It is a simple game in the sense of it's like those platformers, but it does have a lot of a lot of good stuff there, a lot of good design. And for a studio's first game, I mean, that this is really hitting it hard for a studio's first game. So
I'm really excited to play it. One day I'll get to
it. Someday in 19 years or so, you'll get there. Then of course we're still doing our Divinity run, Divinity Original Sin 2. I have not played Final Fantasy 14. I have not played Fortnite, which is bad because I am never going to get the Carnage at this rate. And let's see, were there any other games as a service? Final Fantasy 8 launched on PlayStation Now. So I downloaded that, and I'm finally going to give that game another try, because I historically have tried this game 7 or 8 times in the past, and I can just not, the draw system just always drove me bonkers, and I just couldn't stick with it.
Final Fantasy 8?
Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah, I think
I've heard that, but that draw system, man,
it's really not as bad as it's not as bad as you think it is.
Maybe it isn't, but it something about it. But that I haven't started yet. It's sitting on my hard drive, waiting for me to find 5 seconds to try to start it off and see if I can get somewhere before it leaves now, because I don't think that's a permanent Now member.
And Beto, hi, welcome to the stream. I wasn't talking. I just didn't want to interrupt Matt. That's all.
Yeah. And then I'm not playing Metroid Dread because UPS hates me. So there's that. Oh yes, and I also played Fix the Snowblower Before Winter Comes.
Boo, that game sucks.
Yeah, really high resolution graphics, but it's a bit kind of messy and convoluted.
Yeah. What have I played? Dungeons and Dragons on Mondays, which I have a note about that in a moment. Back for Blood dropped last night, and so I've noticed a couple things playing. This is my first time playing on a television larger than 50 inches. So I've got a 65-inch. I'm playing in 4K, 120 megahertz refresh rate. I'm not getting sick playing first-person shooters anymore. So I'm thinking the refresh rates have finally gotten to the point where it's smooth enough that whatever gets triggered in my brain, it's not getting triggered. So this is the third FPS that I've played recently, and I'll talk about the second one here in a minute.
Size of the screen is probably a factor too, because if you get porthole effect, you know.
Yep. So I played for probably a couple hours last night. This is Back for Blood is made by Turtle Rock Studios, the exact same publishing house that did Left 4 Dead, and it is 1,000% Left 4 Dead. It is like, there's no, like, as soon as you pick up the controller, I don't know how to say it any better than it feels like Left 4 Dead.
There a guy talking about what he hates?
Surprisingly, no, but there is a lovable cast of characters that are all quirky in their own rights. They do have characters with melee weapons. Why would you choose that? That's really, really not smart in a zombie apocalypse. I'm actually playing with the mom who wields a shotgun, double-barreled shotgun. I almost never take shotguns, but in this game, shotguns are extremely useful. So yeah, that's the only big difference is that now you have cards and you can build a deck with cards that give you bonuses like 20% faster reload speed, or every time you kill someone with a melee attack, you get 2 health or something like that. So there's cards and there are progression systems, tracks that you can get for unlocking the cards based on playing the game over and over. And it is co-op, so that's nice. But if you don't have any friends or can't find any friends, you have bots. And the bots are... they're Left 4 Dead bots, so they're about as good as they were, 15 years ago. And sometimes they're really good, and most of the time, they have a spitter class zombie. And what's different about this one is it does one shot from the ground, and then it jumps up onto the wall and sticks to the wall like Spider-Man. And as soon as it sticks to the wall, the bots never see it unless they're right in front of it. So Well, you're welcome here, Beto. No problem there. But yeah, so I'm very early in that, but so far I really like it. Yeah, I think it's going to be fun to play with other people. Let's see. I've been playing more Deathloop. That game has been still phenomenal, if not linear. Fortnite. A lot of skins came out. Halloween skins came out this last week. I ended up picking up the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde one and the Frankenstein one.
Nice.
And
I like the X-ray banana one, but I couldn't bring myself to drop the money on it.
Yeah, I saw it and it was like so macabre, but I did not buy it either. That was a great skin. I'm not gonna lie. I've been playing more ActRaiser, but not much. Slow progress on that, mainly because that's kind of the if I ever have time to play it game. Divinity Original Sin 2, as you discussed, I feel like we got to be getting dangerously close to not the end, but the next act, which makes me think we probably only have like 20 more episodes left. We'll see. Maybe Baldur's Gate 3 will be out by then. Maybe not. Who knows? Savage Worlds Rifts on Thursdays. And then after that is when I played Back 4 Blood last night. Diablo 2. Final Fantasy 14. I got the Final Fantasy 15 flying car mount finally. Yeah, so that's done since it will never be back. And I have decided, and don't be mad at me, Matt, I've decided I'm not going to continue with Final Fantasy 14. I can't. It's one of those games that requires a lot of time to progress through the story. And I think with everything else I've got going on, I bought the expansion and I have playtime through November. So I'm going to play the expansion, work my way towards the expansion, I guess. I'm still just outside Shadowbringer, or no, just outside Stormbringers. Stormblood. Yeah, Stormblood. I'm like 5 quests from Stormblood, I think. So
okay,
I don't know. And then I still have all of Shadowbringer. This is why I'm like, there's so much. I don't know if I can.
I'm between Realm Reborn and Heavensward. So,
Star Trek Online. I've been playing that a lot lately. I got my 3rd character to max level, and just today I finally got her the Vern Timeship and the Maquis Raiders Plasma Tornado console. So now she finally is truly a space wizard, Harry. But yeah, that game, if I wasn't a lifetime sub, I think I'd have a harder time playing it. I know you're not, Matt, and you're just starting out, but we're still going to make you the best space wizard we can make you, even if you don't drop hundreds of dollars on the game. We'll do it. So we might be playing some more of that if there's time. I played. Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Okay. I will play.
I forgot about that. Yeah, the Star Trek Online. That was since we've been less too. So yeah, we started.
I still have not progressed the story, believe it or not.
Oh wow!
So I've been waiting for you. Hell Let Loose is this month's PlayStation 5 free title for PS Plus. I gave it a go. It's a solid little World War II shooter. The only thing I'm not sure I love about it is that it is a single shot kill. But it does feel weighty, if that makes sense. So it doesn't feel like Call of Duty. I have always felt that Call of Duty has no weight to their guns, shooting the guns. The people are paper mache and die in one hit. I don't like that. This is kind of like a middle ground between Battlefield and Call of Duty. So it feels okay. And there are different classes that you can be, and that gets you different weapons and loadouts and stuff. And for a free game, it's 100 versus 50 versus 50 online multiplayer battles. So if you like that kind of thing, it's free. So if you have a PS5, have at. Played some more AAW wrestling, mostly just getting Federation set up because you can have 300 downloadable characters. So I'm getting like New Japan and AEW and ECW and all these different things set up. And then I already said Fortnite, Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. I'm still working my way through my fun playthrough of that now that I'm done with the review playthrough. And then and I already said Final Fantasy 14. So on deck, I have Kena Bridge of Spirits, Lost Judgment, which I'm super excited about, but I don't want to stream it by myself. And that's the weird thing, because I think this is going to be a game that's fun for people to observe and comment on. Because if you're not familiar with it at all, it's made by the Yakuza folks, the folks that made Yakuza, not actual Yakuza. And it's a story about a tangential character that is a lawyer and a detective, or a PI, basically. And he's brought in by the police to consult on some cases and all this stuff. But it's really Shenmue. It's like a 2021 version of Shenmue. So you have like you can go to arcade and play video games and level up your reflexes, level up your fighting ability, level up your stamina, and then you can go ride motorcycles and do the exact thing and level up all those stats, and then you can help out at high school clubs and run the robots in their robot competition and stuff like that. So it's like 90% of the game is designed to not play the plot, basically. So I love those types of games. I mean, Skyrim, I did 70 hours before I did the first Dragon. So it's like, I love those types of games, and that's exactly, I think that will be a lot of fun. I also have Alan Wake Remastered sitting there waiting for me. I never got to play it when it came out on Xbox. I'm really excited about it. I'm in the beta for the World of Darkness Blood Hunt Battle Royale. So there's that I need to try out and give some thoughts on. And then, of course, Battlefield 2042 dropped. There's so much stuff. It's Holiday Games Part 2 this week. I'm just like, man, please slow down. There's just so much coming out. We've been watching The Voice, finished What If, Squid Game, which I cannot say enough good things about. I'm Matt, I'm going to try and corral this. I'm trying to talk Lexi into doing a review reaction video. So maybe we get the two of you and me together and figure out some time to watch it. She is very trepidatious about it. And I think that will be very good for the reactions because, you know, despite the shock value of the series, it is incredibly well written, It's like surprisingly well written. And so I think from that aspect, there's a lot of empathy in the show as well. And I think she will resonate with that. I think you will too. And I'm really interested to see you guys' reaction. So hopefully we can set that up. No pressure. I'm just trying to figure out some way to do it. Also on deck, reaction video edits, unboxing. Oh, and I forgot, I also watched another excellent week of AEW wrestling. And speaking of, we are bringing back Wrestling Smart Mark on Wednesdays as a live reaction stream everywhere but YouTube. So join us twitch.tv/Gamersledge, facebook.com/Gamersledge, or on any of the 8 other services we stream on, like younow.com/Gamersledge, and watch for the announcement of the go live on twitter.com/Gamersledge. So that will be on Wednesdays, except this Wednesday because they're moving wrestling to Saturday because of some sporting thing that's preempting it. So there won't be one this week, but next week there should be again. Also, of programming note, we may be taking a small break from our regularly scheduled Monday game of Emancipation of Dragons. So TBD, watch this space. We had a couple players have issues, so I'm trying to figure out where we're going to do there. But you guys are also getting dangerously close to to running out of my prepared content. So I may need to take a small break and come back with season 2. So we'll see. I really want to not do that if possible, but seeing as one of the players that had scheduling conflicts and can't make it anymore was one of the main healers, we kind of need a healer to move on. So I'm going to see about working on that. So, also on deck, I am currently reviewing some business software. Normally, we don't do that on the site. However, as a content creator who has been kind of hacking his way through this for almost a couple decades now, there are certain things that really are pain points in cost and things we do. And I somehow got on a marketing list for software. And I have purchased probably like, I don't know, 10 different pieces of software through these mailing lists. And half of them are useful. And the other half of them have been complete and utter trash. And so I get my refunds for the ones that are trash, and then I move on and I say I'm never going to buy any more of it again. That's basically has been the last two that I did. I'm like, okay, this is it. I'm done. I'm not going to do anymore. But then they had one come across that was for unlimited web hosting with unlimited bandwidth and unlimited storage. And the price on it was low enough that I felt comfortable spending the money to try it out and review it. And if it actually works, then that's something I think other people are going to want to know about. And if it doesn't, then I think that's something that people are going to want to know about as well. So I'm basically documenting each step of this as I move through it. And I think this will be interesting. And if nothing else, I'll have a review out of it on the site once it's done. It's a little outside our normal gaming or media MO, but this seemed like an interesting idea. So we're doing that as well. And that's my list. Okay, yay.
All right.
Let's get to the news. I've got the first one. I'll go. Randy Pitchford steps away from Gearbox Software. He has finally stepped down as CEO. He is doing something in TV and film space, which is a newly formed. He's the president of the newly formed Gearbox Studios, but he is no longer in charge at Gearbox Software. That has gone to Borderlands developer Steve Jones, who leaves his role as chief technology officer to become the president of Gearbox Software. And he's been there for 22 years. So, yeah, I think that's a step in the right direction. We generally only cover good news on the site, but if you just search for Andy Pitchford, you'll find several reasons why that might be a good idea for them to move in that direction. What you got, Ming?
Well, since neither Mitchell or Keegan were able to make it tonight, I feel I probably need to cover this on their behalf. But the final Ultimate Smash Brothers, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate character has been revealed, and it's none other than. Honestly, I'm a little surprised with all the licensing shenanigans they'd have to do to get this okay that this actually went through. But
Cloud's in the game.
Well, yeah, but I would think Sora. It was Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Specifically, it looks like Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora, which is kind of weird, which makes me wonder if canonically it won't end up being like Digi Sora or something. But whatever.
That was a sentence. I know it had words in it. There are times there are a lot of times that I feel like I'm pretty hardcore when it comes to video games. And then I hear you or your kids talk anything about Kingdom Hearts, and I'm like, I am not hardcore about anything.
Yeah, we won't get into that, but yeah, it's Sora from Kingdom Hearts, the Kingdom Keyblade, does not have any of the mechanics, at least not from what we saw of like Kingdom Hearts 3 or any of the later ones. So this looks like it's pretty much strictly Kingdom Hearts 1 type stuff and abilities that he's going to have in there. I since it is just Sora, I mean, he does have the Disney labeling on, the Kingdom Key. It does have the Kingdom Crown, and it has the Mickey Mouse, what are those things called? Charm on the end of the Keyblade. So there is still some Disney in there, which is where I thought the difficulties in licensing may be, but Square Enix may hold the rights exclusively to Sora. I don't know. But yeah, so there's another for the people who are like, there's too many anime sword wielders in Smash. Here's another anime sword wielder for you in Smash. Different though. He seems like his play style's different enough that it's not, it's not another, you know, Fire Emblem character clone, like a lot of them kind of seem to be. So yeah, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate is done. Mr. Sarai presents his are over, and love him or hate him, he puts a lot into these games, and I know his health has in the past suffered for it. So he literally puts a ton of himself into these games, and they are beloved and hated equally. But it's a great series. Will we see another one? I imagine so. Will we see another Sarai led one? I don't know.
Maybe, maybe not.
Yep. It'll be at least 5 years before we see it, regardless. Yep. So have fun mastering everything in Ultimate.
And that'll be on the Wii dog collar.
Something like that. The Wii refrigerator.
It's got to be something unexpected. That's all I'm saying.
I don't even want to go there.
So, Matt.
Yeah.
Remember how Avengers was doing good things and they were like finally letting it so you could have multiple the same characters on a team and things, they finally got like their legendary quest lines going and things seem to be looking positive for the game.
Yeah.
Or more positive than they were.
Launched on Game Pass.
Yep. A week after joining Xbox Game Pass for the first time, they have announced that they are doing paid XP boosts, which set off like a space wizard in Star Trek amount of tornado of bad press and bad feelings. One of my favorite ones is responses is, remember when Marvel's Avengers nerf XP gain because players were too overwhelmed and confused by how quickly they were leveling? Well, now you can pay to be overwhelmed and confused. And then, Crystal Dynamics initially said that the only microtransactions we will have will be cosmetic. These are not cosmetic. And there are a lot of people that are very upset about this. So, yeah, I
had missed that. So,
that's a big one.
That is, yikes.
What do you got?
Well, keeping in the thread of Nintendo for a moment, in case you didn't know, the Nintendo Switch OLED version launched today. Sporting a OLED screen, which is both lighter, brighter, better colors than the original LCD panel. There are some minimalistic internal upgrades as well, and they're less upgrades rather than just different versions of the hardware that they needed to switch over to because, time presses on. I personally don't feel the need for one because I almost never play my Switch in handheld mode. So it was not something I was interested in, even for the moderate or minimal hardware upgrades. My regular plain old Switch is doing me just fine. So but if you don't have one and been waiting for an upgrade or been waiting for something with a better screen on it, you can go ahead and nab one of those today. Well, I don't know actually how available they are, but you can try to nab one of those today.
So, Guardians of the Galaxy is releasing very soon. I should call it by its proper name. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, the video game, will be releasing soon, and they finally released the track list for the game, including Call Me by Blondie, Don't Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult, Don't Worry, Be Happy by Bobby McFerrin, Everybody Have Fun Tonight, Wang Chung. So we've made it to the 80s. Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, The Final Countdown, Europe, Hanging Tough with New Kids on the Block. So we've made it to the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Kiss, Bonnie Tyler, Culture Club, Motley Crue, Simple Minds, Rick Astley, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Relaxes in there.
Oh wow!
Take on Me, Aha. It's actually a really good track list. I'm not gonna lie, this actually might swing the needle far enough that I get it.
Add it to the infinite list.
Yeah, add it to the infinite list. It'll never get played, but I'll have all those songs. Dang it! No, I'm really torn about this because I don't like what they've done is the concept of the game where you can only play as Peter, but then you have a meter where you can start engaging other people in the attacks, etc. I'm not sure I really dig that, but at the same time, while I don't necessarily trust Eidos Montreal to have the right tone, etc., I do kind of trust Marvel. And if you've played Avengers, the story's not bad, right? It's not a bad story. It's just, the game's kind of mired down by the grind and all that stuff. So this could be good, especially since it's based off of comic book stuff and not movie stuff. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not sure yet if it'll get added to the list, but I'm crazy already anyway. So what does it make? What does it make a difference?
What's one more game?
Yeah, what's one?
Be like that. Do you remember that old Super Nintendo commercial towards the end of the Super Nintendo's life, where they had the guy who was like sitting in front of this giant the smorgasbord of food, and he's just shoving himself, and they got him in a fat suit so that as he eats more, he gets fatter and fatter and fatter. He's like, "Oh, what's more thing?" And he eats one more thing, and he explodes.
No, I mean, Monty Python is the closest I've ever seen.
Right, it's a riff on that, right? Yeah. But it was a Super Nintendo commercial. But that's how I view your gaming backlog. It's like, what's one more? One day you're just going to explode,
or my back will be broken from carrying them all. One of the two.
Yeah. If you could ever find them.
Yeah. There's that too. I'm like, there is a GameStop literally 2 blocks away from me.
Oh wow, those still exist?
Oh yeah. It opens at 12. It opens at noon. And closes at like 7. It's still very strange and weird, but I'm very tempted to go buy that stupid disc. I'm just haven't done it yet. By the way, kids, upgrading from PlayStation 4 to 5 stuff is fun.
Yeah, they got some streamlining to do there, if it's possible.
Do you have another one?
I do have a few more. And also a thing I forgot to mention earlier is my SSD came.
Oh yeah,
yesterday. So I haven't installed it yet because I'm going to do that this weekend. But yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to speak to how easy that is. I hope. All right. So keeping on the theme of what I've been so far today, Kingdom Hearts news. Kingdom Hearts 3, 1.5 and 2.5 remix, and the 2.8 blah, 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 even too long for me to say, is coming out for Switch, but it's cloud only. So remember that Switch has these games that it has that are beyond its technical capabilities to present. So it does some cloud streaming stuff to make up for that. So while the entire Kingdom Hearts series will be available on the Switch, it is from the cloud option only. So yay, if you've never played Kingdom Hearts and wanted to, and all you have available to you is a Switch, that it's a cloud option. I've not played one of the cloud games on the Switch, so I can't speak to how well it works. I think I've heard that it works decent as long as you got a good connection, but yeah, I don't have any firsthand experience on that. So Dave probably does, but he's not here. So
it's because he's probably playing his brand new Switch.
That he didn't get.
No, I think he totally got it.
You think he got it?
He's all like, "Oh, guys, I didn't get it. I'm not going to be able to join the podcast tonight." Grand Theft Auto Trilogy, the definitive edition, has been confirmed, and it's coming to the Switch. So, if you wanted to play Grand Theft Auto the Trilogy in HD, you'll have your chance now. Also, right. According to Kotaku, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl is so good Smash should watch out.
Really?
That's some serious fighting words, but that's what they're saying.
I mean, there's been a lot of people to try to come in and take that crown with all kinds of gimmicks and free and things that if they can do it, hey, that genre needs some challenging. But
they said that they worked with Nickelodeon from the start to have the game be competitively viable. So that's interesting. Not like worthy of a lot of time, but I thought it was interesting.
Yeah. All right. Well, switching developers and everything completely. The thing we all knew is finally official. PlayStation Studios has acquired Blue Point Games. It's been long rumored and long assumed, and was even leaked the last time they acquired a studio when somebody accidentally posted the wrong image. But officially now, PlayStation Studios is the owner of Blue Point Games, and they are working on an original game. So they've been well known as a remake studio. They've done a lot of good work for PlayStation on that front, but they are now working on their own original title. So no announcement on what that is yet. I haven't even seen any rumors on what that might be yet.
I have.
So, you have? Oh.
Yeah, a new Bloodborne.
Okay.
Which, I mean, considering they ported Demon Souls,
yeah,
that would totally make sense.
Yeah, and now that they're internal, they'd have access to the source and the engine and everything for the original, so they could work their magic from that.
Yep.
So that makes a lot of sense, actually. So yeah, so that's that news story.
Well, wow, that is actually really apropos because it leads into this one. PlayStation, there was an article that came out, and I don't have that one up in front of me at the moment, but it basically showed that last year Apple made more money on gaming than Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo has for like the last 10 years of all their gaming combined.
I'm going to be a snoot about this. Yeah, a bunch of folks spending gajillions of dollars on their match 3 games. That does not.
There is more than match 3. There is more than match 3 on them.
Well, I know there's more than match 3, but you know that there's a lot of money going out into those power-ups on match 3 and style set games. Now, sure. Yeah, there's the Clash games, there's the Clash clones,
Angry Birds, Infinity Blade, all that stuff. But why this is important to denote is because PlayStation has poached the former Apple Arcade exec, Nicola Sebastiani, to take the head of mobile role at PlayStation Studios.
Which they announced a while ago and have done zero with. So
they did. It was earlier this year, but it was still, you're right.
Yeah.
They haven't done much with it yet. So my guess is that they are going to start adapting their exclusives for mobile consumption across the board. And while you're not going to get like The Last of Us 2 on mobile, you'll get some form of The Last of Us 2 on mobile, because that's something no one can do right now since Sony owns the rights to the IP.
As long as it's not The Last of Us Part 2, the match 3 game.
I would totally play that. I'm not gonna
lie. I mean, if they did something like a puzzle quest type thing, I could see, maybe there'd be something there. But
yeah.
Oy. So as long as we're in a PlayStation mood, why not keep that rolling? So as we know, recently you're not going to be able to buy games for your Vita and your PlayStation 3 anymore, or you are going to be able to buy games for your Vita. So there's been a lot of chaos in that space as they're trying to shut down some of the capabilities on those older platforms. Saves money, saves resources for them, right? So from a business perspective, somebody watching numbers makes sense. From a marketing management, consumer relationship management aspect, it was a little more hairy. But now you still can buy things in those stores. However, you cannot directly add money or pay for anything from those stores, What does this mean for you? This means you have to either load your wallet via the web or a PS4 or PS5 console, either using PayPal or a credit card or a prepaid card. I would recommend usually always either using PayPal or the prepaid card. To load your wallet, then go over to the store on the Vita or the PS3, and that money will be available there for you to make purchases on those stores. So it's kind of a hassle, but again, we're maintaining the functionality of being able to purchase new software on these systems that are, getting old by technology standards. I mean, I no longer have a functioning, no, never mind. I was gonna say I no longer have a functioning PS3. I do have a functioning PS3, but that it's getting to the point where those things are getting harder and harder to keep alive.
I don't know where my Vita is.
You lost your Vita?
I mean, I haven't seen it since before the move from San Francisco.
It's the same place as your Final Fantasy
Probably.
VII remake did.
Probably. No, it would be in a different place, actually, because I haven't seen it since San Francisco.
Oh, it's in San Francisco. Oh, right. Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, so
that's a bit. It's
in a box somewhere, I think.
Hopefully the battery's not exploding in it. Oh wait, that's PSP.
Yeah.
But so it's a kind of an inconvenience, but at least this allows them to make some of the benefits they needed from a financial and systems perspective, but allow you to still be able to make those purchases. So it's not bad in the world of compromises as they
go. Let's see. I don't know that there's a lot of details about this, but Elden Ring is getting close to wrapping development and going gold. We know it's coming in March, I believe. I'm sorry, January 2022.
Is it January? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I was just looking at a release list and I saw it there in early 2022. So I'm super excited about this game. January, by the way, looks almost as bat poop crazy as it is right now. January and February and March are all stacked. And I remember when that used to be the dead time.
Mm-hmm.
There is no dead time.
That's when the developers all slept for 3 months because they survived the Christmas rush and they just all passed out.
And they didn't need to start until like May to get ready for E3, and that's not a thing either. So yeah, so that's just keep that on the radar. Baldur's Gate 3's biggest ever patch is adding a new D&D class as well as equipable salami. That is not a joke.
What is that a reference to? What was that?
I'm not sure.
No, it was Star versus the Force. Mitchell's been watching Star versus the Forces of Evil, and there's an episode where somebody fighting with a salami comes up and someone makes a character, ooh, salami, I wouldn't have seen that coming. So it's just, I mean, that show's been over for a while, so I doubt it's a reference.
All I'm saying is I'm watching a GIF where the guy is pulling two of them off his back, so yes, they can be dual wielded.
Dual wielding salamis. Oh dear, the jokes are endless.
Yes. But yeah, it's going to be a 60 gig patch.
Holy mother.
Thank God I have it on my very large drive as opposed to my SSD.
Nice.
But yeah, so that's that.
Okay.
Yeah, you got more?
Yeah, another one. This one just happened, and I'm still not sure what to make of it. And I'm not going to get too deep into it, but at Night School Studios, which you might know from Oxenfree, which is a great game. If you like the old point and click adventure mixed with Telltale game dialogue tree on crack, which, hey, that's right up my alley, and they also developed After Party, which is the afterlife gotta get to your party on so you can visit the devil game, which I haven't played but is also seems quite interesting. And they're currently working on Oxenfree 2, which makes absolutely no sense to me how you get a sequel, but everything can get a sequel these days. Was acquired by Netflix. So Netflix has announced a gaming department, and that they've been trying to staff up on. What does this mean? Does it just mean they want some of that sweet gaming money and nothing significant is going to change?
Oh,
Maybe.
no.
Does this mean they're looking to build something?
They're going to do basically rent unlimited and consume unlimited video games would be my thought.
That'd be my thought. It still seems early for that, but I mean, maybe in populous urban areas that's viable. I don't know, but seeing as I don't know. It's Netflix, so Lord only knows what they'll do or how it'll work. But that was an interesting one. But if they're looking for that kind of game to be able to stream, it's graphically less intensive. It's not response time required, right? It's a bit more tempered in its pace.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense in that sense. So anyway, that's another thing to keep an eye on, is Netflix is quietly kind of scooping up little developers here and there. So just keep an eye on that and see where that's going.
So James Bond's Aston Martin arrives in Rocket League. I believe it's live now.
Nice.
So if you want, either it's got, and I should say, I appreciate this level of detail. It has like the newer racing Aston Martin, and then it's got the old 1950s looking Aston Martin.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Did they both have machine gun things that pop up out of them like a Batmobile type thing?
Since there's not machine guns in the game, I'm not sure about that. I would say no, probably.
Probably not. But
probably not, but still, yeah.
Probably not.
And apparently, I mentioned I got Frankenstein's monster. Apparently, the Mummy is also coming. Yeah, there might be more. Apparently, this is kind of a test the waters collaboration to see how well it does for the Universal monsters. So we might see.
So they are officially licensed versions of those characters. Okay,
they are indeed. So I think that's pretty cool. We haven't talked about the 700-pound purple gorilla in the room, and that is Twitch got hacked this week.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh God. They got hacked in the worst way. And so it's interesting because normally when a company is hacked, there are many reasons why they could be hacked, but someone being mad at them is not generally a thing. Generally, it's, they want to make money on something financial. Yeah.
Theft. Yeah.
But apparently this stemmed from a hacker who had been part of the movement to get Twitch to change because of the hate botting that was going on for streamers, which luckily, knock on wood, we've never experienced. But it's really bad for the people that do experience it. And Twitch hasn't done a whole lot. They sued 2 people and that's about it. And so apparently a hacker took it, posted on 4chan in advance, and then successfully hacked Twitch and exposed all of their AutoMod code, and also got all the financials, and it looks like they got passwords as well. And then the hacker immediately turned around and posted the list of the top paid people. Critical Role was at number 1, and you can actually see how much they made over a span of time, which I'm not suggesting people do, and what they make really doesn't matter. Either you like the product and you want to support them or you don't. But it is interesting to get visibility into something that is generally walled off, and hopefully this will make their security better. But if you are a Twitch user, make sure you do change your password, turn on 2-factor authentication, etc. This was a huge thing this week.
Yeah, well, yeah, I missed that completely. It's been a busy week, but
yeah,
wow,
no, I get it.
Yeah, I'll have to go ahead and change my Twitch password if I can remember my Twitch password.
By the way, your ability to stream has been reset. Also, I'll have to get that over to you again.
Oh, okay.
I forgot to tell John that as well. Oh, and Daniel's Daniel's fine, but yeah, I need to. Yeah.
Okay. Ouch. All right. So Jet the Far Shore is out now. We've got trailers, we've got reviews, and I still have no idea what this game is. I still, this is like the weirdest, like Flower meets No Man's Sky meets some high-end concept sci-fi thing, possibly Rebirth Cycle.
When you finally break down, because you have to know what it is and buy it, you're doing the review. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a discount game. It's going to be one I'll buy when it's on sale at some point. But I just, this thing is driving me nuts. I don't get it. I don't understand. It's so confusing. And as you said, I understand Kingdom Hearts, so it's not like I don't follow complicated things. Oh, that's the other thing. I totally forgot. I watched Tenet.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I watched Tenet.
What did you think?
I loved the crap out of it.
So it's one of the few movies in the last several years that would constantly resurge in my brain after I'd finished watching it. Like I would continually think about it and try and process it. And there's some stuff that's really dumb in it, but at the same time, there's some stuff that's really smart in it. And it's like, okay, this why? What difference is an oxygen mask going to make? But, it's like, okay, sure, whatever. Within the confines of the rules that they've engaged, all right, sure.
Yeah.
It makes as much sense as anything else. And then it's like, it's one of those, it's a real mind blower. Let's say that instead of the...
Yeah, I love that you have to get halfway through the movie before the movie starts.
Yeah. Well, and I mean... Listen, I am not. Christopher Nolan in that movie did something that I thought I would never see, and that is get me to like Sparkly Vampire.
He's actually a pretty good.
He's actually really decent in that. Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's yeah. There's things I don't like him in, and he once he finally got out of that, I'm gonna look at everybody like this phase of his life. I've been able to enjoy him much more, but. Yeah, no, he's really good in that. I did not realize the main character is Denzel Washington's kid.
I didn't realize that either.
No, I was like, why does he sound so much like Denzel Washington? It's his kid.
There you go.
But yeah, so it's fun. It's up its own butt at times, like you said. There's just some stuff that's kind of like, okay, whatever. But it does. It all within the world he created for this makes sense, right? Even if it doesn't make sense, it makes sense. It's like, really, just having plastic hanging from the wall inside a Connex cube is going to protect you from this deadly environment you're in? Okay, whatever. But there's parts of it you just accept because the rest of it is so darn interesting. Right?
I have always and will forever be intrinsically drawn to anything time travel related. This is one of the smartest time travel movies that I've, despite what I'm saying about,
the actual concept of how that works
absolutely brilliant. And I think I'm interested to see if they ever do more with it. They probably won't. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because this is a perfectly fine standalone story that does have a bow on it by the time it's done, but there's other things they could explore, like the other half of Sparkly Vampire.
Right. But yeah, the whole concept of the movie, what I was trying to explain to somebody is it's like all the good parts of Interstellar.
Yeah.
Right. The parts you didn't like about Interstellar aren't here. Right. Yeah. This is just the good parts of Interstellar. And I liked Interstellar by and large. It's got problems, but by and large, I liked Interstellar. More than as time goes on, I like the Batman movies less and less. Those are like my least favorite Nolan movies, I think. But
do you know I've never watched 3?
That's okay. You're not missing much, in my humble opinion.
I'm sorry. I said it wrong.
Do you know I've never watched 3?
Still not mumbly enough, but yeah. But yeah, three kind of set me off. I was like, maybe I don't like Christopher Nolan movies after 3. And then I went back and watched some of the other ones. Nope, I still do. It's just that one. That's just that one. And honestly, I don't really like 2 either. I know that's controversial, but there's things. But anyway, I just have one more quick one.
I got 3, so let me do 2 to break it up.
Okay, you do 2. I'll break up. Yeah.
Okay, so Final Fantasy VII First Soldier just got a big old trailer, so we know that it is a battle royale, and you are playing the first soldiers, whoever were successfully infused with materia. What is weird is that you have classes of characters. So they have a sniper, they have an assault, and they had, what the heck was the third one? I don't remember. I've slept since then. But the point is you have different classes, and the materia supposedly affects you different ways. So I don't know how that's going to work. But it is still on track for 2021, and it will be on mobile.
It's still a phone game, right?
Yeah, it will be a mobile game, and I will play it. I will probably stream it now that I have that ability.
That's fair.
So yeah, the other thing is that Ilphonic is reportedly developing a new Ghostbusters video game. And this one comes from Destructoid, which apparently the leak, if you want to call it that, came from a Questlove Supreme podcast, where the co-founder of Ilphonic casually said, somebody asked, what are you guys working on right now? He's like, well, right now we're working on Ghostbusters. And nobody knew about that. So huzzah, news.
Wow. I wonder if it's based on the new movie or if it's,
I don't know, but generally for Ilphonic's games, they did Friday the 13th and Predator. So that's the asymmetrical multiplayer style of game. So I wonder if you're going to be playing Ghosts and the Ghostbusters.
So Left 4 Dead, but Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Yeah. That could be very interesting. Or it could really suck. I don't know. It's interesting news to process, but who knows when it's coming out, et cetera, et cetera. So take with grain of salt. But for those of you that are excited about Ghostbusters, there you go. And yes, I'm actually still really excited about that movie.
I am too. It looks promising, right? I mean, looks can be deceiving, but it looks promising. Oh, speaks of things that aren't looking promising. I've realized something we need to talk about. So I do have one more after this. I just have to look something up after that. But for right now, my second to last one. I had no idea this was a thing, and I'm not sure anybody knew this was a thing, but Nuclear Blaze is a game that's coming out later this month. It's made by the guy behind Dead Cells, Sebastian Bernard. So he
got more than himself at his studio finally?
It's masterminded, it said. I don't know if he solely developed it or not, but he spearheaded it. And it's a side-scrolling 2D firefighting game, but also has Dead Cells type storytelling in it, and there's a cursed house that's burning down, and honestly, I have no idea if it's randomly generated like Dead Cells. I'm assuming so. It seems like it's really rogue. It doesn't say, right? There's no details in here on if it is a roguelite or not, but I'm guessing it is based on the loose description. The art style is very similar to Dead Cells. It's a pixel art, 2D style, lots of color, but that everything's square, right? Everything's squared off. And you've got a chibi little firefighter dude. Looks kind of a super deformed little guy there. So yeah, I know that the folks love their Dead Cells. I could not maintain a Dead Cells relationship. I got through the first 1 or 2 difficulties, and after that, I couldn't keep putting the time into it. It just didn't hold me.
I never played it in the first place because Metroidvania.
I don't know. It's different enough from that. You might appreciate it. But yeah, roguelikes and I have a complicated relationship, and it's generally not a positive one. But I appreciate what folks like about the game, and obviously, Ian and his crew played that for years on their weekly stream. That was like the only game they played for years. So it's obviously got its following and it's a stuff, and it seems like this may be a worthy successor to that. So just something to keep an eye on out there.
So developer Eidos has announced that its Montreal and Sherbrooke studios have implemented a 4-day work week. We've all heard about, crunch and how people are working hundreds of hours, etc. I think this is a really positive step. They're saying they're just basically closing the office on Fridays. They're not changing salaries or working conditions or anything else as they switch to a 32-hour work week. They're saying they're condensing their meetings from an hour to 30 minutes. They're trying to focus everybody, the idea is not to condense working hours into 4 days, but rather review what they're doing today and improve their quality time invested so that they're not wasting as much time. I think that this actually has been a thing that's been happening in Japan, and it's been happening in indie studios for a while. I think this is a really positive step, and they're pretty much the first major developer to do so. So kudos to them. And will probably attract talent as well.
Yeah. Definitely work flexibility is a huge thing for folks these days. So, yeah, just have to see if that works out for them and if others decide to start taking following up on that. Game development is an interesting, any project development is always interesting, and there's always some amount of crunch and stuff associated with it. But game development has always been a bit self-masochistic. Like, you have to suffer for your art, it feels like. And hopefully we can kind of get away from some of that. Probably never completely go away, because you always have workaholics.
Yeah.
That'll never disappear. You'll never lose that workaholic mentality. But
hi, my name is Mark.
But yeah, so that's encouraging to see if we'll have to kind of keep an eye on that and see if that works out for them. Because yeah, if it works out for them, there'll be others that will be willing to take up the mantra, right, and follow. All right, I really have my last one now.
Okay, wait, no, because I want to follow up what I was saying before. I found that article I was talking about.
Okay.
This is from the Apple lawsuit, where it was disclosed that in 2019, Apple profited from their gaming division $8.5 billion.
That's actual profit, not revenue.
Yeah, and the report claims that this is approximately $2 billion more than the operating profit during the same 12-month period of Sony, Activision, Nintendo, and Microsoft combined.
Well, way more people have phones than gaming consoles, so
yeah. So that's crazy amount of money.
That is a lot of coin. We all know Apple has more money than they know what to do with, so yeah, I guess it makes sense. But yikes, that's wild.
All right, your real last one.
My real last one. I wanted to like this. I really, really thought that, you know what? I don't care how campy, how goofy this is. It's in the lineage. So I really wanted to like this. Mm-hmm. And to boot, almost sounded Canadian there for a second, it was my first PlayStation game. So I really was hoping that this would be, at worst, a dumb, fun romp. And it might still be. But we got the first trailer for Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City, which is an adaptation of Resident Evil 1 and 2. And it kind of looks like a senior college project.
What row?
And there's a lot of talent associated with it. I mean, it's not like this is a completely, I mean, it's not necessarily A-list talent, but I mean, there's a decent amount of talent related to this movie. And I appreciate what they did in the trailer, where they showed iconic shots from the game series. So the semi with a gasser tank crashing into the front of the police station, and the first zombie reveal in the original Resident Evil with a, I mean, and they framed up a lot of those classic shots from the game. So you can tell that, unlike the original, Mia Jovovich led series, which deviated from the source material almost instantly.
Yeah.
This is really trying to be a more honorable, more true to adaptation of the game source material. And it's interesting that they're covering, the first two games in one go, because, the timelines do sort of overlap a little bit with 1 and 2, and 2 and 3 definitely overlap. But it doesn't look good. It's not a well put together trailer. The movie doesn't really have a good look to it. A lot of the effects don't look great. Now, some of them do. The liquor looks disgusting. But,
liquor, I just met her. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So but I just I watched that and I'm just like, I go, oh, man. And it comes out on my birthday, like literally the date of my birth. So so it would be nice to say, hey, I could just go check this out for my birthday. But actually think my birthday's not going to happen on my birthday this year, because I think I've got other obligations I need to hold up on that day. But but I have you watched the trailer yet?
I have not.
Do you want to do a reacts right now?
Yeah, we can do it. Because I saw that the trailer had dropped, but I had not seen it yet. I actually have one last story also, actually.
Okay.
1 second. Resident Evil, what's it called? Welcome
to Raccoon City.
Okay, give me 1 second. I got to pull it up, and then I got to do the window for it. So give me 1 second. No, stay. Stop. No, I said just go back. Don't play. Okay, there we go. Let's see. I think this will... Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one either. All right, so remove... Oh, that's the U now. Oh, okay, yeah. I can remove that. Anyways. Remove. Add source. Screen capture. Smart selection. Robbie Amell is related to Stephen Amell.
Yeah, they're cousins. He's the original Firestorm.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. Hot take.
Every story has a beginning.
Number 1.
Discover the origin of evil.
Why are you back here, Claire? Your conspiracies weren't true when we were kids. They're not true now.
We need to expose Umbrella.
Claire and Chris, okay.
Watch this.
I'm afraid, Claire. I'm afraid of what they're gonna do to this town. You see, Umbrella, they had an incident. I'm talking Chernobyl, if you know what I mean. People are getting sick. You gotta help us, Claire. Let the world know what's really going on.
We have to contain this.
This does not seem like the right song.
I would have thought if they were going to go for that era, why wouldn't they go for Zombie?
Okay, I'm backing it up for a second. I got to figure out who this guy is. I know him, and I can't. Not him. That's the guy from Legends of Tomorrow.
An incident. I'm talking Chernobyl, if you know what I mean.
That guy. Who is that? That is...
I can't see your screen, so I don't know.
33 seconds. God, I totally know who this is, and I can't... I'm just blanking on it.
So that's the Robbie Amell.
That's Robbie Amell?
Yeah,
No.
that's Firestorm.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's not Firestorm.
33?
Yeah,
Well,
no.
maybe we're watching different one.
I'm on
Okay.
the official trailer 2021 on IGN.
Okay, I'm not on the official. I'm on Film Select. So let me switch quick.
Yeah, no, I know who the Firestorm character is. It's this other guy.
IGN?
And, yeah,
Okay,
and it's
stand by.
driving me nuts because
I gotta get through the ad here. Hold on.
he's in something and I like him and I want to say it's sci-fi.
22, 30. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's not the official. That's a game comparison. I grabbed the wrong one. You said IGN, but it's the...
Yeah, it's IGN's Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City official trailer 2021. It's Kaya Scolario, and Robbie Amell.
Why do you hate me?
Here, let me just do it this way.
Just shoot me the link.
Yep,
I'm
that's
not
what
finding the right one.
That's what I'm doing. Now I'm putting it in Hangouts. Hangout. Paste. Go. There it is.
All right, stand by one.
Oh no, now I gotta find where I put it in my 92 different windows I have open. Okay, there it is.
The guy right before the hands face person thing.
I don't know. He's standing in the doorway, looking around the doorway.
Okay, yeah. It's a good question. I
totally know him, and
it evokes something, but I can't place it.
He shows up again.
You gotta help us, Claire. Let the world know what's really going on.
Is it Tom Hopper? Yeah, that's Tom Hopper.
Tom Hopper, but what was he in?
Merlin, Black Sails, Dixon Tarley in Game of Thrones, and he's Luther from Umbrella Academy.
That's it, Luther. Thank you.
Yep, that's
oh my
Luther,
God,
yep.
driving me nuts.
Okay, yep, that's Luther. Yeah, that's definitely him. Okay.
Because I'm like, I have a positive reaction to seeing his face. Who is this? I didn't recognize him because he isn't in the suit.
Suit, yeah.
No, not run. What's going on? That's what you're supposed to yell.
What the?
I don't think that the effects or anything look bad per se. I just think this is the wrong music to set the tone.
Yeah, well, I mean, like that crappy. Are you to the crappy projector scene yet?
Maybe not.
Okay. I mean, again, they're revoking the game, but I don't know. It's just there's something. I don't know if it's the color palette or the focus that they're using for the cinematography shots, but like they just look like cheap sets.
I'm having total deja vu right now about having this conversation with you about cinematography and the color palette. That's very strange. I don't think we've done that, at least not for a good while.
Specific,
it's oddly specific. And I remember my reaction being, it looks okay. I mean, I get what you're saying. To me, it just seems like a disconnect between the choice of song to establish the mood.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess, sure, what's going on, because they're trying to figure out what's going on. But I mean, again, this is Sony's problem, right? This is not, I don't think it's the filmmaker's problems. I think it's Sony's problem. Sony does not understand how to make a horror movie. They never do it correctly. They screwed up with New Mutants.
Oh yeah.
They way screwed up with Venom. Venom would have been an opportunity for them to make a phenomenal horror movie. And here they have a horror movie, and instead of playing it as a horror movie, they put one of the campiest songs ever over it, which I love. Don't get me wrong. I love the song. I sing the song at karaoke. I absolutely love the song, but that is not the appropriate song for the mood that they are trying to instill here.
Yeah. And it's not like they were trying to go for, I mean, it's an R, right? It's not like they were trying to PG-13 it or something, you know, and hampering it that way. It's an R movie. So I don't know.
I mean, I'm really thinking about activating my AMC Movie Pass because the last couple times I've been to the theater here, it's under, I would say it's close to 40% capacity. And it has not been an issue to, it has not been an issue to find a seat that is away from everyone. I keep doing the exact same thing. Stop it. I keep trying to go back to what I was doing, which is seeing you. There we go. All right. So I'm going to turn that off unless we do another trailer or something. Perfect. Yeah. I you know, if I get the equivalent of Movie Pass by AMC, then what do I care? I'll go watch it. Sure.
Yeah.
You know, but I get what you're saying from a paying consumer standpoint. That does not instill necessarily the right tone or confidence for what you want to see out of it. I'm hoping that's just a bad marketing package.
And it could be. I've heard the international trailer is better. I haven't looked it up. I don't know, but yeah, that was painful. And I don't know what they did with that shot walking into the mansion.
Mm-hmm.
They did some weird, I don't know if that was just weird camera angle stuff or if they actually CG'd the mansion to shift. But some weird effect going on there.
All right. So my last thing is, you are familiar with Genshin Impact, yes?
I am familiar. I have actually attempted to play.
Yes. So now keep in mind, this is just mobile. So this does not count console data. But it was released that between September 28th, 2020 and September 27th, 2021, Genshin Impact on Android and iOS raked in $2 billion.
Jeez.
The funny part is it is not the highest grossing game of the year. It is the third highest grossing game of the year.
Wow.
FIFA? No. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds came in at $2.8 billion for the number 2 slot. And then Honor of Kings came in at $2.9 billion.
Wow.
In fourth, Pokemon Go with $1.4 billion. Yep.
Wow.
And Roblox tied at $1.4 billion.
Wow. And
for fourth and
Fortnite's
fifth.
not even there. Huh?
Well, keep in mind, Fortnite lost all of its iOS income. So that probably kicked it off of the charts completely. Which, you know, $2 billion in a year, and that's just on mobile. That's not counting PC. That's not counting consoles. That's crazy crackers.
Wow.
I feel like I should be like $2 billion.
Yeah. No kidding. That's, I mean,
crazy.
That's more than most companies make.
And if you section of it, if you exclude all the funding from China for mobile games, Genshin Impact was the number 1 top grossing mobile game worldwide, ahead of Pokemon Go being number 2. If you're excluding China,
right,
and Roblox at number 3. That is, it took them less than 6 months to reach $1 billion.
Dang, they plugged into something. I'm not quite sure what, but something.
So yeah, that's my final news of the evening.
All right.
That's going to bring us then to final thoughts. Matt, final thoughts?
I mentioned it. I think it was actually my final thought last week, but I'm going to repeat it because I've read more of it. And Crossover by Donnie Cates and team there is, it keeps coming at you. It just keeps coming at you. It is a really good book. It is not a comic book, whatever you want to call it. It is a really good book. And if you again, it's wearing its allegory on its sleeve, so there's no subtlety to the allegory going on here.
Mhm.
But that aside, it is just still a really good, well put together story. Donnie knows how to pace things out really well, and he keeps the surprises coming at just the right intervals to just keep you going. But about the time you think you've got things figured out, he throws it on its head a little bit. So yeah. So check that out.
So my final thought is going to be another live reaction. And I'm going to send you the link in chat. And we'll have to queue it up to time it to play, because I don't know I know I've got that extension installed, but I don't, whatever, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So yes, so this is the Critical Role Legend of Vox Machina official opening title, which I'm going to take back to 0 all the way to the left once it's open. I know that Matt does not partake in Critical Role at all. Critical Role is a live actual play, or not a live, but an actual play D&D game, the most popular one in the world. And they are making an animated series for their first campaign. They currently have wrapped up campaign 2. They're about to start campaign 3 here in October, mid-October, late October, somewhere in there. So this was the most successful Kickstarter of all time. They had built stretch goals out through like $1.4 million. And by 11 hours into the campaign, they had something like $9 million. So they had to rework all their stretch goals, and they blew them all out of the water. So I think they have enough for, I want to say it was more than one series, and there's some one shots in there too.
I thought there was a 2.
I think it's 2 seasons. Yeah, I think 2 seasons.
And then a couple of one-offs or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So I am super excited about this. They did release the date, which I'm not sure is in this one, but it's February 2022 on Amazon Prime. So I'm excited about it, but I know Matt obviously hasn't watched this. This is the title sequence, the opening from the show. I actually have not gotten to see the entire thing. I just saw snippets here and there. So when you are ready, good Sir Matt, let me know and we will go on the count of 3.
Ready to rock.
All right, so 3, 2, 1. Oh wait, don't go yet, because I have to put it on the screen. There we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Is this done by the studio that did Dragon Prince?
That is something I can look up in a moment.
Art style's very similar.
And yes, that is a guy with a gun in D&D.
I assume since the characters are all played by voice actors, they're voicing their own characters.
They are with the DM doing a very large number of voices of the NPCs. So yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. That's a nice intro.
It is a very nice intro. I'm super excited about it. Probably going to get a copyright claim for doing it, but I wanted to cover it anyways. So that's something that I'm super excited about. That's coming up in February, as if we didn't have enough going on in January and February, as alluded to earlier. Also did want to take this opportunity to thank everyone that supports us, like Miguel Redman on YouNow, who is always sending us likes our way. He's a rock star. If you're on Twitch, make sure you hit that follow button. Also, you can subscribe to become one of our rock stars. Don't forget you can use Twitch Prime to do that as well. On YouTube, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and of course the bell icon to be notified whenever we upload new content, which is almost every single day of the week, Monday through Friday. And last but not least, no matter where you're watching us, you can head over to patreon.com/Gamersledge, where you can get your name on every single show that we do for as little as $1 a month. just like the fine folks that are going to be scrolling across the screen. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of them, our Patreon and Twitch producers. So thank you, Justin, Naomi, John, Regina, Lexi, Ramy, aka Dance Commander, Axe, Mark, Eric, Tim, John, June, Pat, Dave, Tracy, Michael, Nick, Matt, Dave, Kevin, William, John, and Arturo. Thank you very much for your support. We appreciate it very much. And that's going to bring us to the end of the show, where we leave you with a sage piece of advice to carry over.
Victim available.
Yep, it's carry over till next time we meet. I do have to say there's a story behind this one. A quick story. Oh, wait. I didn't do mailbag. Oh, I didn't do any mailbag. We can do a couple quick ones, and then we'll end close up. Okay. Ignacio asks, between sleep, work, and food, I feel like I can't fit games into my schedule. How do you make it work? Not sleeping? ?
That was the method for a long time. I still sleep a lot less than most of my peers in our age group, sleep a lot less.
Ditto.
And having kids on top of that in a family, that definitely chops into the time. You got to do what you can do and not feel bad about it. Right. I mean, if you can set aside one night a week, Friday night, Saturday night, whatever it is, where you can book a couple of hours and play whatever it is. I mean, if it's Fortnite and that's all you can fit in, and you play Fortnite or something of equivalence, that's it. I mean, there have been times where one of them's right now, where it feels like I'm not getting any games in because I've got a lot of real life obligations. Those will die down a bit and the gaming will pick back up a bit. Once I finally am completely free of kids, because, even when they're in college and stuff, you're never completely free of them, then, I'll have more time available where I can do that kind of stuff. It's all about balance, right? You can't throw your life out of balance with any one thing. Otherwise, you're just going to cause yourself trouble in all the other aspects of your life. If you work too much, it's going to throw off this. If you sleep too much, it's going to throw off that. If you play too much, it's going to throw off the others. It's just about finding what can you do that you enjoy with the time you have. Where can you chunk off the time? It's like Monday nights I play D&D. Wednesday nights I play Divinity. Tuesdays and Thursdays, general rule, I don't play. As a general rule,
unless I'm like, Matt, can you play something?
Unless I get the emergency call, and then I look at the wife and I'm like, really? Okay, all right. And then Fridays we do this or we play, and then Saturdays I'll typically get some time in, but not every Saturday. It depends on what's going on, right? To this Saturday, tomorrow, I am booked all day. I am getting no gaming in tomorrow. But it's just do what you can, and if it's nothing, don't feel bad about it. You'll keep up the way you can. Watch shows, watch podcasts, stay involved in ways you can, and then curate a backlist. Through all of those sources, find those gems that are when I get time, I have to play this. Metroid Dread, for me, that's one of them. I mean, I'm planning on playing it near real time, but I still got to finish Kana. So it's just curate that list, and when you get time, that's when you dive in. I'll shut up now and let you answer.
So I mean, I also sleep far less than most people I know, but then again, I'm also a night owl, whereas most of the people I know are morning people. And I want to murder all of them because they're morning people. But that's neither here nor there. The question is, how can you make it work? So, everybody has different circumstances. I don't have kids, but I have a very loving and understanding wife, and we have made a committed effort that, all right, I'm working on my business in the evenings except on Tuesdays, because now we have Tuesdays off, and that is dedicated as date night. And that's when we premiere Eberron. And so I don't have to be there for that physically. I can actually be out and about doing whatever, and it starts and goes, and that's fine. I have a set schedule, which is very different than almost everyone else I know, because most other people don't have a schedule or can't adhere to a schedule, or they have too many variables, kids, wives, work, etc., to have a schedule. So I'm a very bad person to answer the question for you, because I actually am the exception, not the rule. I feel like in that I am a very scheduled person during the day, during the night, and I'm constantly kind of burning the candle at both ends to get the stuff fit in that I need. And I still have this like huge backlog of stuff that I need to do. I need like 6 more of me, but that's the any business is like that. So, how do I make it work? For me, it's not even a case of fitting it in. It's a case of how do I keep from getting burnt out on all of these different things? And for me, it's finding exactly what Matt said. It's finding the passion projects and kind of deep diving on those. Yeah, I've got to do other stuff around them, but if I really like the thing, then it's not as much work as it is doing the preparation so that I can enjoy it, if that makes sense. So that's kind of how I look at that. I think it's a really interesting question, and it's not an easy question to answer because, I mean, everybody's got different circumstances, but if you can set up a schedule, I will highly recommend you set a schedule and keep to it, even if it's just one day a week, one night a week, like Matt was saying, because then at least you're getting some of it and you have something to look forward to, and that can drive you when you're kind of feeling down or batteries drained as you're moving throughout the week. So that's a great question. Calm Game Show asked, how amazing is Wolverine going to be? Yes, is the answer.
Yeah, I mean, Insomniac. So, the only person I've ever met that's more of an Insomniac head than me is Dave. But yeah, I'm still flabbergasted by this. I appreciate it. I love it. I want to know more about the project. I mean, how much more obvious could a trailer be? I mean, even my daughter, when she saw the trailer and saw the back of who that was, she knew exactly who it was. Yep. I mean, I thought it from the first wrecked bar scene. I'm like, no. And then you see the back and you're like, oh no,
MG.
And they did. This will be a different style game than we typically see from Insomniac. So I am very intrigued to see what they do with it. I am very interested, but we know they've got the writing chops. We know they've got the development chops. As long as they can find an enjoyable game loop for it, it's going to be amazing.
Yep. I can't. I'm actually between that and Marvel Midnight Suns. I'm really excited for the Marvel gaming experience that we've got coming up.
Honestly, I know Avengers gets a lot of crap, but if you look at the Marvel projects outside of that, they've been some bangers.
Yep.
I mean,
although I still haven't played Miles Morales.
Oh man, you're killing me. You'll love that story.
I know
you don't like Spider-Man, but
no.
Listen,
that's just overblown. I just do that to troll you.
I know.
I mean,
I'm just playing back.
He's not my favorite. I will 100%. He's not my favorite, but I have no problems with Spider-Man. I like him very much. Other than when he makes a deal with the devil to not remember his redhead wife. I don't know. Anyways, yeah.
Everybody's got their dark times.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So that's going to bring us then to our sage piece of advice to carry you through till the next time we meet, Matt. And
yes.
There's a story around this.
Yes.
So I take no credit for this. I completely stole this from someone. Do you know who Ginny D is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so Ginny D is a YouTube TTRPG person. She does cosplays. She talks about DMing, etc. And I don't interact with her very much online or anything, but I saw this the bones of this joke on her Twitter, and I jumped into the conversation and I said, "Stolen, letting you know." And I accidentally started a kerfuffle on Twitter because somebody thought I was implying that she stole the joke from someone. And this was like, I don't know, 10 hours ago. And so I came back and I'm like, oh God, no, I'm letting you know that I am stealing this. I love Ginny D, And I'm using way more words now to clearly state my intent that I think this is amazing and I'm stealing it. But for like 10 hours, there was a thread that I apparently started by using too few words on the internet. So with that in mind,
internet.
yeah, internet. With that in mind, Matt, what do you call magic mushroom caps that grow onto our heads and allow us to communicate with each other telepathically whenever we're strolling barefoot and touching soil?
I don't know.
Walkie-shiitakes.
It's almost good. And I should have gotten it.
My wife made that exact same noise and head gesture. And I keep trying to explain to her that I feed off of that energy. She's like, there's no energy in that. I'm like, yes, there is. That is what sustains me.
Your tears feed me.
That's right. I thought it was hilarious, so I had to use it. So thank you, Jimmy D, for the bones of that joke.
Man.
That's going to do it for us. Thanks for watching. And our next stream, assuming we don't have any guest streams, I think we're not this weekend. We're supposed to go frisbee golfing tomorrow, so we'll see. But who knows? But our next stream scheduled will be Monday. Mondays will go up, so we will have a new Emancipation of Dragons on Monday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern, 1:30 a.m. GMT on YouTube. So remember, those go up on YouTube first, and then they get added to the rotation for replays on Twitch later after the fact. So join us then. Thanks for watching on behalf of both Matt and myself. And until next time, game on.
Game on.